Hi, darling. Good night. How are you?
Well, I guess better now.
I know, right? After all the technical difficulties and all the things that was going on. Hi, everybody in the chat. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Oh my God. Let me see. You know what? I'm gonna have to do it manually. In the meantime, we're gonna get started, you guys. I'm gonna wait for some of you to come in. If you, we are finally live, you guys. We finally did it.
Finally! Yay!
Hi. Yay. Yay. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, so what's popping, everybody? It's your girl, Danielle B. If you happen to be on the live stream, the artist is finally in the building. Corinne has finally arrived. Okay. So go ahead and share it, like it, love it. If you happen to be in the Creative Girl of Color group, share it, please, because I didn't even know this was gonna work. So I'm just like, let me take a few seconds to kind of share this into one of the groups here. 2 seconds, and we're loading. We're loading. It's taking like, whenever you're trying to do something, it's like Murphy's Law and want to take 50 hours. I swear to
Always.
God. Murphy's Law. All right. Make sure you guys are sharing it. Share it, tag it, love it. Share it. Tell your mommies and sisters and brothers. We're about to get this artist interview popping in 2 seconds, you guys. Let me just share it to a few groups. You share it too, Corinne.
Yeah,
Uh,
now that I have the link.
Cause people are like, hello, like what's going on with your video? Like what's really happening? You know what I'm saying? Hold up, let me go. All right. For some reason, you know what? Facebook just don't want us to be great tonight. I'm telling you, it just does not want us to be great. Hey, everybody! If you just coming in the chat, okay, let me share because I see it now. Share it, share it, share it to a group. I definitely want to get it into the Creative Girl group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and share it to whatever groups you want to share it to, because that's the only group that I shared it to right now. And what's popping, everybody? Welcome to the Facebook Live. We're gonna jump right in because we had so many technical difficulties. I'm so sorry, you guys. For those of you that were here on time and was totally just ready to roll at 7 o'clock, because I don't know what was going on. Okay, so what's popping? I'm your girl Danielle B, the artist behind Creative Girl of Color. I'm an artist, an entrepreneur, a mom, a metalsmith, and all those things rolled up into one. Welcome to the Facebook Live interview. We have these every Thursday to help artists around the world to highlight different diverse people. And I'm so glad you guys could make it, okay? If you are on the live stream and you have a question, I want you to type in all caps if you have the question. Plus, you want to put question, right, in the front of your question. And don't forget to share this and like it and tag it. Corinne is in the building. We about to get started. All the links is up above. If you happen to be over on the YouTube, go ahead and give me that thumbs up. Don't forget to save it to your playlist. What's popping, everybody? I love you guys so much. Thank you for bearing with us with the technical difficulties. Okay, so Corinne, I want to introduce the wonderful artist. This week we have Corin Beverly. She is phenomenal. She's gonna dazzle us with all of her beautiful, whimsical art. She calls it like tattoo-esque art.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, yes. So at the end of the live, you guys, we're gonna get into all of your questions, but we want to jump right in and get into this interview. You don't want to miss it. Okay, so take it away, Corinne. Tell us who you are. Everything about you. We're dying to know. We've been waiting for like 25 minutes, right?
Right? Okay, so hi, I'm Corin Beverly. I am an artist, an Air Force veteran, a wife, a mother, a million other things. I do acrylic art that's heavily influenced by tattoo work. So it's got a lot of bright, bold colors with these thick black lines that they look a lot like tattoos. But it's fantasy, it's a little bit gothic, it's a little bit offbeat, um, with a little bit of fan art thrown in there every once in a while. But that's the type of art I do.
Yes, yes, that is so beautiful. When I had a conversation with Corinne last night and we talked about her expansive, like, career and just different things that's going on with her life, her being a mom and an entrepreneur and an artist. It was such an interesting and phenomenal conversation. So tell us, Corinne, like, how long exactly have you been doing art? Take us way, way back to the beginning.
If we go way, way back to the beginning, we pretty much got to go till I was a kid. Um, I was one of those people who has just always drawn and painted, and I was always coming up with worlds and stories, so I had to draw to keep up with it. But to be honest, I didn't want to be an artist when I grew up. Um, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I always wanted to be an artist. I knew it from the very beginning," but I wanted to be a fighter pilot. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, I was determined I was going to be a fighter pilot. I was going to go to the Naval Academy, all that. Um, I did end up joining the Air Force and becoming an in-flight refueler. And but even then, like coming up through high school and in college and in the Air Force, I drew all the time. I was constantly drawing things all over notebooks and notes and in meetings and when I shouldn't have been drawing. Um, but if you want to know when I actually got started as an artist, um, I'd say about halfway through my Air Force career, my Uncle Chuck, who was my dad's best friend and like my godfather, we were super close to him. He passed away,
Oh.
and yeah, and when it happened, I was just really drawn to draw something, and I drew this memorial for him. And after that, I couldn't stop drawing, even though I loved the job that I was doing. I was constantly drawing tattoos for other people in the Air Force that I knew. I was joining contests online to draw tattoos and stuff for online, and um, it's just from there. I thought when I get out of the Air Force, maybe I could be a tattoo artist. So when I got out of the Air Force, I went to go talk to a tattoo artist out in Baton Rouge, and his name is Corey Flory, and he's an amazing artist. And he was like, "Your work looks great, your color is great, but maybe you should take your GI Bill and go to school, go study painting. Get a really good education. Since you've got the money to go do it, you might as well." And
Right.
that was a that was the best that was the best suggestion. I ended up going to Louisiana State University, and I studied painting and drawing. And while I was there, I worked on all my gesture drawing and all my stuff for school. And then on the side, I was working on my style, and I've just been doing that ever since.
Wow. Wow. That's phenomenal.
It's a long story.
No, 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 no. We're good, okay? Everybody wants to know the tea. Everybody want to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's. Can you guys hear me good? I want to make sure everybody can hear me. But yeah, I think that that's a beautiful story. It's not. It's very rare. Like, you're lucky that you found out what you really wanted to do, like, so early on, because so many of us really don't know. Like, we float through life. We're really trying to figure out where we want to be as people. And because I know for me, I didn't really start doing art until my 30s.
Mhm.
So it was like it was a whole new discovery for me to find out, like, really what I wanted to do as a person. Hey guys, we have a lot of people filling up in the chat. Save your questions to the end. Type it in all caps if you have questions for the artist, questions for me, and we'll get to it at the end. So, yeah, I didn't find out until later on that, I really wanted to be an artist, what I really wanted to do. I mean, the first 25 to 30 years of my life, I was having kids and, growing up in New York City, I was like doing a lot of stuff with that. In New York, you can easily get distracted and start doing all sorts of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You
I get
know,
distracted anyway, so I get it.
yeah, you can easily get distracted growing up in New York. You can go, because there's so many different things to do. I kind of come from Coney Island and stuff like that. That's where I was born, in Coney Island. And then, like, Coney Island, like, hello, you're going to be having mad fun and doing a lot of stuff in Coney Island. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I'm glad that you was able to find out early on what you really wanted to do and what your path was going to be. That's a beautiful thing. Now, I'm looking down because I'm kind of going through my questions. I can't remember everything.
That's fun.
Because I was taking notes last night, girl. Okay, so basically that's how you found your art style, is because you fell in love with tattoos, the whole style, the whole aesthetic. And them tattoos go way back from like the 20s and the 1900s and stuff like that, when the sailors used to come over. So it kind of makes sense. You know what, they kind of tie in together because the military along with your style, so that kind of gels together for real.
It really does. I know,
Yeah,
the military and tattoos have kind of always gone hand in hand.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so let me go over my questions. So, how long have you been doing? We talked about you've been doing art for most of your life. And okay, so let's talk about what inspires you. Like,
Um,
who inspires you? Like, who's your favorite artist?
I terrible with the what's your favorite questions because I always have a million answers. But some of my top favorite artists is actually you mentioned her last night, the Australian artist Haley Fields or Fieldy. Um,
Oh,
she's definitely
Fieldy
one of my,
TV.
yep, she's one of my absolute favorites. Her and Greg Simpkins. He is,
Oh, Graham Simpson.
oh
I don't
yeah,
think I know that person.
his work is amazing, and it's very fantastical and surreal, but it's super realistic. Like the textures and all that kind of thing. It is amazingly realistic. But none of what he's painting is realistic. If that makes any sense.
Wow. Okay, so it's more like surrealism because you could be really realistic, but then it's more surreal. Like, what is her name? The Spanish painter.
Frida Kahlo.
Uh, yes, like Frida Kahlo.
About
Yes.
to mention her next.
I love, what? I love her art. I used to collect her art before I even became an artist because I loved it so much. It was like so raw, so passionate. I mean, she had one piece that was like really like cut down the middle and you could see like her rib cage. And I thought that was like the dopest shit ever. You know what I'm saying?
I actually love painting like skulls and bones and things like that. So when I saw her work, I really, really connected to it. So
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, she was a tortured artist. I mean, like most of us. You know what I'm saying?
she definitely used her art to get through some really hard times.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so our next question is, okay, tell us your daily routine. Okay? Everybody wants to know that. I know it's like a whole thing, but let us get into the nitty-gritty because I know for newbie artists out there or artists just beginning, they want to know what the routine is, especially of a successful artist or somebody that's out there doing this full time. Because do you do this full time? Because let me ask you that. Do you do this full time?
Well, I am a mother full time, so
Well, we know that. I mean, behind that.
I have to fit art around him. So there are definitely days where I don't do much. So I know you asked about my daily schedule, but
Right,
I work a more a weekly schedule where I have blocks at different points during the week where I can actually work because not every day looks the same.
right,
Um, for me, 3 days a week, my son goes to daycare, and on those days, I have a set 8 hour day where I work on I get up, I get him ready, I take him to daycare, um, and in the morning I do my workout, and then I take a shower, and then I do all my admin stuff. So before lunch, it's all my website, my shop, answering emails, that sort of thing. And then I have lunch, and then after that, it's just creative work until it's time to go get him. And I
right.
have about 5 alarms that go off to tell me, hey, stop painting and go get your child. Otherwise, I would forget.
I know it. It could be to some people who don't have kids. They probably like, well, you should know that. You should know to get yourself together. You know what I'm saying? But no, like when you're in the middle of painting, everything kind of fades into the background. You know what I'm saying?
Does. And for me, I'm also ADD, so I get what's called hyperfocus. And when I'm in my hyperfocus mode, I don't remember to eat. I don't remember to go to the bathroom. I don't remember to go do anything other than what I'm working
Wow, 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 wow.
on. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so okay, so take us, I mean, you said you get up in the morning, you get the kids ready, you do whatever you have to do, get your son ready, and then you do your admin stuff. You're working out. I need to work out too because I swear to God, like that, you know, chocolate
it's nothing
and
hard.
yeah, chocolate and cupcakes is definitely not where it's at when you're trying to do 50,000 things during the day and then the kids is running you ragged all at the same time. It's definitely not a good look. You know what I'm saying? So, does it help? Let's ask that. Does it help you?
Doesn't it sound like I do like a serious workout? I usually go get or walk up and down the street for a couple miles and come home. That's pretty much it.
Well, shit. I mean, that's something as far as I'm concerned because I'm in here, if I'm not doing something else or I'm not working in a part-time job or whatever, I'm in here pretty much glued to the canvas and the brush and the table and whatever and the live videos that I'm doing all the time. You know
All
what
the
I'm
time.
saying? Yeah, it's all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I think that would be something good to infuse into your process. You know what I'm saying? For us artists out there, get some exercise because I know I'm about to do it. But you know what? Holidays is coming around, so exercise be damned for this month.
Honestly, the last couple weeks I've been pushing really hard. I've been working on my shop, but also trying to get certain paintings done for Halloween time. So my
Right.
walks have either been cut severely short or I forgot to do them. So again, I'm not 100% on it.
Yeah,
How-
yeah. Exactly. So let's talk about okay, how what we without getting into too much detail, but everybody wants to know the tea. How do you balance home and work life? Like how does your husband feel about everything? Is he supportive? What about your family? Are they supportive? How do you feel? What is everybody feeling?
so about support, my family is amazingly supportive. I think about half of them are in the chat right now.
Oh.
um, they are super
Hi
supportive.
family.
I think my dad's in there, my stepmom's in there, my
Oh.
sister, husband, everybody's in there. Um,
Yeah,
but my
so we're not going to be spilling any secrets today.
oh yeah, I'm not. No, they're wonderful. My family is super supportive. My husband is amazingly supportive. Um, honestly, I probably wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for him. You
Wow.
know, he pushed me to do it. He pushes me So again, I have ADD.
Right.
I also have anxiety, so it's fun. It's a great combination. But I so a lot of things I don't really want to do. You know, I don't like to be out in the public and be around a lot of people and put myself out there a lot. And you know, he pushes me to do that. He pushes me to learn more about what it takes to be, you know, a business person, to get out there. Um, he doesn't know anything about art, but he is always there to answer a question. But I'm like, babe, does this look crazy? What's wrong with this? Something's wrong with this. And he's like, I mean, I think it looks okay. He tries. He tries.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, that's important. I mean, especially when you're hyper focused and you're in the painting, like you notice when you're in a painting and you're painting for like more than 2 or 3 hours, 5 hours, whatever. I don't know about you, but sometimes I can spend a good 6 hours on a painting.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, and then I'm like, damn, the whole day done passed by, you know, everything done piled up. There's so many things that going on. So it's good. And you start to get that tunnel vision where everything starts to look the same. All the
Always.
colors start to blend together. You know, everything starts to get swirly and psychedelic, and you start figuring out, like, what is wrong? What is wrong with this painting? It looks like shit.
Well, thankfully, he's really good at being like, Corinne, take a step back, go get something to drink, go calm down. He will let me know when I need to take a break, when I need to calm down. Um, but he also, like, if I really need to get something done, or like right now we're doing this interview, he's got my son upstairs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll keep him out of your hair. We'll get this. And I mean, he does that. You know, he comes home. He actually does the bedtime routine with our son.
Wow.
So he puts him down, and while he's doing that, I can come downstairs and get some more work done. You know, so he takes him. You know, he does the food shopping on the weekend because he can take my son, get out of the house for an hour or so, and I can get work done. So
Right.
he's really good about
Sorry,
getting
you guys.
in there. So
I'm having issues with the phone constantly shaking. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's beautiful. That's a wonderful thing. You definitely need somebody that's gonna be in your corner, you guys, especially while you're doing your art and you're doing different things because art life, it's fun, it looks fabulous and lights, cameras, action, you
it's
know what I'm
not
saying? But it's not.
sitting
You need
in your hole by yourself, working for
exactly.
hours,
You
going
know, I
night.
swear. You're like, damn, you know, I need to go take a bath. What just happened? You're like, you totally forget you have to pee. I
Oh,
mean, swear to God, like I be at the canvas doing the pee pee dance, like
it's like
yeah,
that though.
yeah. And then I'm like, oh shit, I gotta pee. I was like, put it down. You gotta pee. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
could
yeah,
imagine the amount of times he's messaged me while I was working, going, "Have you eaten?" And I went, "You know what? You're right. I have not."
exactly. My family, they's like, hello, it's dinner time. Why are you still standing there at that canvas? It looks the same color to me. I don't understand what's happening. Why are you still standing there? You know what I'm saying? So it looks fabulous, you guys, but it's not all glamour and glitz. You know what I'm saying?
It's not.
Okay, so are are you with the gallery or have you ever been with the gallery?
I am not with a gallery. There is a coffee shop in a town called Manassas that's not too far from here, and they actually have like a gallery wall, and the person who owns it, it's a locally owned black owned business. The man who owns it is really into the arts, so
Okay.
he has all sorts of different like shows. So it's like group shows where you know artists can submit to put their work up, and I put my work up there a couple times. Um, but as far as like a proper gallery, no, I haven't been in one. Um, I don't know if I'm super pushing for it. Although I kind of want to have my own gallery in the future.
Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
good idea. Yeah, I'm
There,
loving that.
well,
Now,
there's a
okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, but did we talk about where you're located?
We did not.
Okay, where are you located?
I am in Northern Virginia, uh, just
Okay.
just about 30 minutes south of DC.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right. And you know, guys, I'm in Baltimore, so we're like right near each other. Well, it's called like the DMV. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm like on a totally different other spectrum where I'm going more towards New York and you're going towards DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's great. I mean, with the gallery situation, I don't know. Okay, so for newbies out there, it's kind of tricky if you go into a gallery situation because they sometimes they can take a high commission. I mean, 50%, 40%, 30%. You never know what people are going to take when you approach a particular gallery. It can be really tricky. For me, I don't even know if I would even want to get into a gallery. And now, okay, let's say this. I do want to get into a gallery, but a different type of gallery. And we talked about that, but I'm not going to speak too much on it on here. But I think we talked about that, you know, what my goal is in the future as far as gallery goes. But
Mhm.
I wouldn't say, you know, you should be worried about trying to get into a gallery, especially for those of you that are just starting out. It wouldn't be something. I mean, what do you think? What is your tips and tricks for newbies?
Well, about a gallery or just in general?
Well, in general, you know, well, let's say specifically for a gallery, do you have any tips and tricks for the newbies out there?
I don't really have any tips and tricks. I'm still kind of exploring how I feel about galleries.
Right,
Um, the thing is, I think a lot of galleries are still stuck in a model where, you know, a long time ago, artists couldn't really get out to audiences themselves. You know, they got into galleries and then galleries found audiences. They brought people in. They did a lot of the work to get your art out there and seen and sold.
right,
So and it kind of makes sense. But now, I mean, we've got Instagram and Facebook and a million different markets and festivals and conventions, and artists can get an audience on their own. You know, you can get out there and get in front of people and build your own audience, and you don't necessarily have to have a gallery promoting your work to do that. So
exactly,
I think
exactly,
you could probably find a gallery where you and that gallery can have a good relationship and would work for you. But I think just to find a gallery and get in it just because you're an artist, you have to be in a gallery. I don't think that's necessarily the case. So it's kind of like figuring out what it is you want to do. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. People are burning up in the comments, writing big paragraphs. I see the novels, guys. I see them. But we can't get to you right now. At the end of the live, we will definitely get to your questions. But make sure you do it in all caps, you guys. And don't forget to share, like, tag it, love it. Okay. So let's get on to the next question. Um, we said specialty.
Mhm.
Uh, did you? We talked about. I think we talked a little bit about you going to art school last
Yeah.
night. So did you kind of? Can you kind of touch on that briefly? Now my thing is okay for the people out there that may be thinking about going to art school because this will eventually be on YouTube and maybe a podcast. So what do you think people should do? Should you go to art school or should you not go to art school? What are the pros and cons?
I have a twofold answer for that, actually.
Okay.
I say yes and no. And my reasoning for yes, okay, actually, let's go with my reason for no first. I would say if you have to go into debt to go to art school, it might not be the best option for you. One of the great things about art school is that when you're there, what you're focused on art. You go into class constantly every day. You're doing gesture drawing, you're doing studies, you're immersed in instruction on art. Everybody around you is immersed. You're bouncing ideas off each other. You're learning from people who've been doing this for way longer than you have.
Right.
You're being inundated with all sorts of different styles and techniques and ideas, and it just pushes your learning and your grasps of art like way faster than you could probably do it on your own. It's a wonderful experience and it's wonderful resources, but so I know there's that starving artist thing out there. You can make a decent living with being an artist, but the amount of money you're probably going to make isn't really worth the amount of money you're going to be spending going to art school. So when I went, and I loved it, and again, I said it's a wonderful resource, but I had my GI Bill from the Air Force, and
Right.
my school was paid for, so I didn't have to worry about incurring a huge debt to go do it. I don't think if I did have to incur debt to go, that I would have gone. I was already married, we had a child while I was there, and the amount of money, all that money was going towards something else. We had a house, we had bills, we had a lot of other stuff, and I don't think going into debt would have been worth it. And I can't imagine going to debt at, coming out at 21 with that huge thing of debt as an artist, going, okay, now I got to somehow make my art work and pay all it off.
Exactly. Exactly. But
And
you know
there's,
what? That's some really sweet advice. Because a lot of now I think it's benefits to going to art school, because I can definitely tell somebody that's been to art school versus somebody that's kind of self-taught or kind of figuring their way out of it, like somebody that didn't have an apprenticeship or mentorship. I can definitely tell the difference between their work, because you just don't study the same in a
yeah,
school. Like you said, you do all of those things, gesture drawing and anatomy, and when you do anatomy, you actually do anatomy. You figure out the ins and outs of the body, the contours, the gesturing, and the da 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 da. And you do color theory. I'm sure you guys did color theory,
color
and
theory, composition.
yeah, composition, and in some cases in some schools you may do environment, stuff like that. You know, and those sorts of things. What are complementary colors? Blase, blase. I mean, we can really get in depth in that color theory conversation, because
There's
we
even,
pretty much almost did it the other night.
yeah, but there's even things you wouldn't even think. Taking a sculpture class can kind of, as a painter, can kind of show you how to carve out the planes of a face with paint. Like you
Right.
understand the depth and the highlights and the shadows and where things should go because you've done it in 3D in a way. So I mean, I don't want to be a sculptor, but it helped me to paint better.
Yeah, yeah, because I was watching a YouTuber's channel, and he visited like it wasn't like it wasn't like an art center or a college like that, but it was an atelier.
Yeah.
For you guys at home that don't really know what an atelier is, it's more like a informal, unaccredited type of school, trade school, but it's not like a trade school. It's more like a fancy, you know, private school that people can go to, and you get more of a one-on-one situation. It's more like an apprenticeship type of thing. You learn everything, from sculpting to anatomy and physiology and da 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 da, plus the whole gamut. Pretty
Yeah.
much you learn at the atelier. You get more of a private, and then you may get at the atelier, you may get actual working teachers that are in the field, that are professionals that actually sell their work, which that's what you want to look for when you're going into the art field. If you're trying to learn from somebody, or you're doing an apprenticeship with somebody, You want to learn from somebody that actually knows what they're talking about, and not just, okay, they pulled Joe Schmo off the street to be an art teacher. You know, not like your fifth grade art teacher. You know, you want to learn. I mean, shout out to the art teachers out there. I'm not saying all of y'all don't know how to paint, but I'm just saying, you know, it's just a metaphor for what I'm saying is you got to be careful who you're actually getting your tutelage from, who you're learning from, who you're admiring, and stuff like that. So if you do decide, for those of you out there that's thinking about going to art school, if you do decide to go to art school, pick wisely, choose wisely, really think about where you're going,
Research.
who's right. Do your research. Do your due diligence. You know, I love to say that word, and I can't never say the word, but you know how I love to say the word. You know what I'm saying? But do it. You know, do your research, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because you get with a bad person, and I said this before, you learn from a bad person, your art is going to be looking crazy. Okay? So really think about that, and definitely, okay, for the self-taught ones, like I'm more self-taught. You know, Corinne had some formal training and stuff like that, but I'm more self-taught. Like I pulled myself up out of the, you know, non-artistry gutter, you know what I'm saying, with my bootstraps tied tight, and pretty much, you know what I'm saying, like, and pretty much dug in head first. You know, that's how I do everything anyway. You know, dig in and dig my heels in when I really, really love something. And I studied. I absorbed every ounce of art I could find. I mean, I went to the museum. I looked up books. Do we have like a surge of weirdness going? What just happened? It's like, woo, something's going on. I think, you know what I'm saying? Like we gotta go to something. But anyway, uh, I absorbed everything. I absorbed all of the energy that I could find about art, from
You have to.
sketching. Yeah. I mean, I looked up videos. I researched. I was in the library. I took out books. I bought books from, you know, the thrift store, the regular store, you know, from Amazon. I was all over the place when it came to trying to get every ounce of information I could. You know, it's nothing worse than basically you going into something, you know what I mean? And you say you want to be an artist and you're really not really dedicated to it. Now, if you want to be a professional artist, these are the things that, you know, me and Corinne are feeling like we would recommend that you do, is really study your craft, whether you go to art school or not go to art school, because, you know, you don't want your color theory to be off. You know,
Definitely.
all this, yeah, you know what I'm saying? All of this stuff ties into each other.
Anatomy.
Drawing, exactly, like drawing is a fundamental skill that definitely should be something I would actually recommend. And I know some people won't agree with me, but I would recommend that a lot of people do drawing first and then go into everything else, because I feel like drawing is the fundamental backbone of art. I mean, what do you think?
No, I do agree. I think again, there's a difference between if you're trying to be a professional artist and you're doing it as a hobby. If you're doing it as a hobby, go into whatever you want to do, whatever feels good to you, that's fine. But if you want to be a professional artist, yeah, you need to have your drawing skills down. You need to understand how to see. And I know everybody's got their own style, and they're like, well, I don't want to draw like that because that's not my style. But you need to learn the basics. You need
No,
to.
it's called weird styles, ugly style, or whatever the fuck.
you know, you
I
need
mean,
to
that's the
learn the
only thing.
basics, right?
That's the only way you can even say it, because
It's true.
it's like, okay, I don't know how to say it. Like, I don't. I swear to God, because it's like, if you're trying to be a professional, and you really want to make money at this, you really want to go hard body with something, you got to put your all in it. 10 toes to the ground, put that grindstone on, put your backpack on and get it in there, because it's nothing worse than, you out there trying to be a professional and you're watching what other people are doing, but you're not worrying about what you got going on in your section, which is where you should be focusing on the fundamentals first and then move into something else. Like,
I think the
go
problem
ahead.
is people see, like, they everybody gets into art because they see things out there that they like, and now that's what they're drawn towards, and they want their art to look something like that. But one of the things that I learned, especially when I went to school, because I mean, I did art before, so I did a lot of self study before I went to school. But everybody's like, you draw your styles, but until you know what a face actually looks like and can draw a face in a realistic way, get the proportions right, and all that, you can't stylize it well. Some
Exactly. I mean, to put
still
it,
life.
go ahead.
No, I was just saying, if you can't draw a still life or you can't do gesture drawings, if you can't get that right, you're never going to get your stylized work to look right. Like, it can look stylized, which means some things are exaggerated, some things are off, all that kind of stuff. But if you don't know the basics ahead of time, we all know that this stylization you're doing is, it's not your style. It's just you don't really, you don't know what you're doing. You're copying.
Exactly. It's the basically, you don't really understand the fundamentals and you're not really familiar with how to lay things down properly yet. So
Yeah.
what it is instead of you saying like, hey, I just say, hey, this is what I want to do, this is my hobby, or this is where I'm at with it, and I'm not really ready to move on. But don't, there's people that become defensive, like, this is my style. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I threw that green shit on the top right there. You ain't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not your style. It's called you don't really understand the fundamentals and the background yet. So don't become defensive. Just get somebody to help you, or do it like me and Corinne. Do your own research. Put that work in so that you can hone those skills and get those fundamentals down packed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, because you can definitely. Sorry, let me just share one thing. Sorry. Yeah, but you definitely. That's definitely what you want to do. So anyway, we went on a rant, you guys, about the fundamentals, about the fundamentals and color theory and all sorts of craziness. Okay, but let's move on to, okay, blah 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 blah. Okay, so if you could thank one person, who would that be? Who is like your rock? Who supports you no matter what? Who goes with you to Michael's? I swear to God, I've said this. I've swear it. And for you artists out there, if you got somebody that's your road dog, whether your husband, your wife, sister, your brother, whatever it is, that goes with your ass to Michael's, picks up the canvases, walks around the aisles with you while you take 50 hours to pick out the color, that's a keeper right there. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody who really rocks with you hard body. So be good to that person, because they dealing with your bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
You would be good to that person. Honestly, it's not one person for me. It's my husband, my sister, my dad. It's my family. My sister is also a creative person, so she's often at Michael's with me. Um, my husband has gotten so many calls from Michael's going, all right, babe, I'm trying to choose between this canvas and this canvas. This costs this. What should I do? And he's at work or taking care of our son, and he's just like, just go with this. So, you know, he doesn't actually go with me to Michael's most of the time, but he still gets the calls from Michael's. Actually, you know what? That's not true. When we go to a new city or something like that, he always looks up to see if there's a Jerry's or a Blick and is like, "Hey, babe, I found one. I know you want to go. Let's go."
Exactly. I know you want to go in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I swear, my mom, she's my road dog. I swear, because, she's up in the Michaels, or if we go somewhere or she sees a sale, she was like, I got some coupons for Michaels. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go. That 40% off every day.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I got 70% off for you. You know what I'm saying? Or my dad, he'd be like, well, I seen these. He's from the Caribbean. He like, I seen these, I can't even do this. The accent, but he's like, yeah, I seen these canvases. I know you love it. I know it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I be having the whole family be having my back with that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even my followers, even my friends, you guys here on Facebook and on YouTube, I've gotten so much love, including you, Corinne. Corinne is not just an artist I met randomly. I mean, I did meet her randomly in
Good.
a group that shall not be named, but yeah, I met Corinne in this group and we hit it off, right away. And we talked a lot, and this is before I even got a chance to see her art and see her awesome skills and see what she was all about. And we just hit it off. And even her, people that follow me, Corinne, everybody have been so supportive. You guys are my support system as well as my family at home, and I thank you so much. So we're gonna have like two more questions, and then we're gonna get into the questions in the comments because it's been blowing up, you guys. Okay. What is your social media strategy? Oh, I forgot. Wait. After we do that question, I got the next good question for you. Go ahead.
Okay. Um, I'm still trying to figure that out, to be honest. I just got into a habit to try to plan out my weekly posts to Instagram and Facebook, like at the beginning of the week. I may not know what each post is going to be when I set them up, but
Right.
I know that I want to do like about 3 different work in progresses a week, and then have some others like have a quote every once in a while, things like that. But I'm trying to post every single week. Try. I'm still trying to figure out my social media stuff. It's putting yourself out there, and it's something I have trouble with. So I don't have a strategy yet. I'm winging it.
We just all flying by the seat of our pants, flying down the social media highway. I'm screaming to the top of our lungs. When you're on this roller coaster, you're like, ah!
There's no rule book for being an artist. Okay, so we're just trying to figure it out.
Exactly. Okay, well, my social media strategy, I mean, is a lot of things that, but I mean, again, we touched on this last week where, I think it just depends on kind of what you're willing to do, how much you're willing to do,
Yeah.
to grow your channel. I mean, there's a lots of different strategies you can use or you can utilize. We're not the experts on it, but but I know what works. I mean, but again, Facebook don't want you to live your best life, and neither does Instagram. Okay, it's so they're basically all about themselves, and so I think what it is. I was talking about this with some of the followers that I have on Instagram, that Instagram, and because they're both owned by this Mark, Zuckerberg or whatever. They're both owned by him, and basically he changes the algorithm periodically. I would say probably once a week he's changing up that algorithm.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. So, and I can always tell when he changes that algorithm because the phones start to get glitchy. Okay, phones start glitching out, you can't log in, you start having issues, things start slowing down, you're not seeing as much as your of your friends' feed and stuff like that at that point. So basically, even if you have a strategy, like that's why I would never really take a course on social media, like how to be a social media star or whatever, how to get 20,000 followers, da da da. Because people don't really know. People are who they are, and what
Yeah.
is meant for you is not necessarily meant for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
say that's probably best. I mean, for some people, trying to post every day is super stressful, and it really kind of it starts to wear at them. Some people, they post multiple times a day, every single day. Some people are doing live videos all the time. um,
I.e. Danielle.
yeah, but it's gonna be different for everybody. I think you definitely need to try to get yourself out there. I'd say try a bunch of different things and just see what fits for you. Like, I want to try to start doing videos, but I haven't figured out how I want to do it yet because I don't know if I want my face out there every single week all the time. Because y'all, I don't look this put together most of the time. Okay, I'm just a little gremlin covered in paint with my apron on. My hair's a mess. I have a hat that I've had for like 15 years now that I wear
I seen the infamous hat. We seen
yeah, every
it.
single day. Okay, so I don't know if videos constantly is gonna work for me, but we'll see. I'm still trying to figure it out, and I think everybody's just gotta try and see what works for them, what sticks.
Exactly. And like I was saying, with the when I was talking to my followers or whatever about, making sure, okay, you guys also, you if you're on social media, specifically if you're on Instagram, tell your followers to make sure not only do they follow you, which they force your followers to do this extra step, not only should they be following you, but they should also be going into the follow tab, turn on notifications, so
Yeah.
that they can be able to see your post. Like, and you know what? They thought they was slick because they hid that button real good. I just happened to be investigative reports. The way I am, I like to investigate and see what's going on. I just happened to be investigative reports. Went into my notifications one day. No, I was in somebody else's page. Happened to click on it. The drop down box came. I was like, what the hell? What the beep? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, what in the hell is the damn? So you gotta you gotta toggle on notifications to see your friends' posts. And these are people I'm actually following. Not
Oh
to
yeah.
mention the people that I'm not following. So that's why I'm not seeing anything. And there's favorite people that I really, really like that I don't even see their posts anymore. I have to literally go to their page physically to actually see their posts.
Yeah, I've noticed
Um,
artists that I really like on Instagram. I often have to go because I'll be like, I haven't seen anything from them in a while. I'll have to go type in their name and go find them.
Exactly. Exactly. And you're literally following these people and you're not seeing their posts. He made it where, you know what? I think he's making it where he's transitioning, where he wants people to actually start paying for ads. He wants it to be like a pay to play situation where everybody start paying you, like, oh, okay, I see y'all trying to be social media stars up on my platform. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, because people have built empires on Instagram alone.
Yeah, I have no
Okay.
idea how they do it, but yeah.
Well, they used to be the people, let's say the people that's been there probably before 2014, those type of people, those people that's been there for years and years and years, they got, 30,000 followers, 50,000, 80,000, 100,000. You don't build up those numbers like that, not now, at least when you're first starting getting into social media. So again, you guys, yeah. So again, you guys, we can go into a whole rant. I can get into a whole rant about notifications and all of that stuff. And then also, for you guys that are new, if you start an Instagram now, make sure you change it over to a business page if you're actually planning to monetize and to, make yourself a brand or whatever. Change your Instagram over into a business page. That way you can see the analytics on. Do you have that too, Corinne?
Yes.
Right.
We
So
originally had one.
so you can see your analytic. You can see who's on, what days your friends are watching your stuff. Da 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 da. I mean, you can get into full blown analytics on what's really going on your Instagram if you really wanted to. Exactly. What in the hell? I swear to God, there's something going on with the lighting up in here. But anyway, every time I'm like, okay, wait a minute.
I I think only you're seeing it because I'm not seeing
Oh, you're
it.
not seeing the change?
No.
Okay, so let's get into next question. Do you feel pressured to do popular art?
um.
Spirit
Okay.
fingers.
Honestly, I feel like if I was super pressured to do popular art, I wouldn't do so many skulls. Is probably my biggest answer. But no, I mean there's you definitely see, when something happens, something that's in the news, and you've got artists that immediately do a painting of it and try to capitalize on it because everybody's attention's on that thing. And I guess it works for some people. It does, but I can't do that. First of all, if I wasn't interested enough to paint it before the big thing happened, I'm still not interested enough to paint it now. you know, I can't just sit there and put that much effort. It takes a lot of effort for me to work on a painting because, like I said, I don't. With having a family and having my children and my son, you know, I don't have time to just sit in my studio all the time. So I kind of want to. I either want to do what I want to do, or I want to do what somebody commissioned me to do.
Right,
Either I
exactly.
want to do it because I love it, or somebody's paying me. So I don't know. I don't. I think, especially if it's something where, somebody died, and suddenly everybody's doing a painting of them. It feels really weird to me to capitalize off of somebody dying.
Right, right, right.
Um, Again, if an artist likes to do that, you know, all go whatever you want to do. You got to do what you.
Right,
But for me,
exactly.
I have things in my head that I want to paint, and
Right,
honestly, the stuff in my head I want to paint sits in there for a long time. So I don't really have time for a big pop up thing. Every once in a while, I did do something. I did do a painting around the time two different movies came out, two Marvel movies that I love. But I love that stuff anyway.
right.
So again, I have to already care, or it's not gonna happen.
Exactly. I mean, if it goes along with your brand, I mean, I totally agree with you. If it's something that goes along with your brand already, I don't really see, feel an issue with it.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna do it anyway.
right, exactly. I mean, I feel like, sometimes, I mean, I feel pressure just like most people feel pressure, especially with me being more on the realism side where I'm doing like, realistic portraits and oils, whatever. And I don't necessarily have a specific style right now or direction that I like to go in, especially with all the other stuff I have going on between trying to do tutorials for YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, since I don't have a necessary direction, for me, it can get somewhat pressuring from time to time, where I'm looking at different artists and things like that. And yeah, of course, we talk about the infamous syrup paintings last week, but yeah, it can get pressuring, because you feel like, damn. I mean, this is selling, especially when you feel pressure, like, okay, from a standpoint, like what's selling? What are people actually buying, especially depending on your demographic. Like for us, predominantly, living in the world where we're surrounded maybe by African American people or whatever you may be surrounded around, whatever your community looks like, that's what's gonna sell depending on where you're at, what your demographic is, where you live at, your socioeconomic background. So for me, if I'm with, in an area where it's, predominantly African American people, and I see certain type of art selling in that predominant area, I'm like, damn, well, maybe I should be paying that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You get that feeling, yeah. No, I do get that feeling, because you're like, everybody's buying this. If I were just to put it out there, I could probably get a sale. But again, I paint really slow. So these two paintings I'm working on right now,
right.
I came up with the idea around this time last year and said, I'm gonna get this done for Halloween. Last year. Okay. So I don't really get my stuff out there fast enough to capitalize on anything popular. So
I know. It could be difficult because it depending on the medium I'm working in, because I know you do predominantly acrylics, right?
I do.
Right. So for me, because I kind of bounce between oils and acrylics, it can be, hard for me to pump out something really, really quick. And then I like to do a lot of detail. And then, I have to go through the whole spiel on the canvas, drawing and situating and gesturing. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, you do all your prep sketches and stuff right on the canvas.
well, yeah,
That takes
no, well, usually, okay, that's when I'm being lazy. Okay. Or if I feel like I have to get something done, like for now, like actually Saturday, I'm doing a festival.
Yeah.
And because I'm getting ready for the festival, I have so many paintings that I have to do, like boom, 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 back to back. And since I'm trying to get that prepared and get that ready, it pretty much makes it where I need to cut down on certain times or certain things. Like if I can't sit there, like I have the big sketch pads and all that, because I could, sketch something out or do thumbnail sketches. I mean, you know what that is from going to school.
I do all the
Um,
time.
right. Yeah. Do the little thumbnail sketches, which for those of you that don't know what thumbnail sketches is, little tiny sketches on the one big piece of paper, and you flesh out your scene, composition, beforehand, and then bring it to fruition on the canvas. So anyway, I don't usually have time. At this point, I don't have time for that. I have the idea in my head, and sometimes I'll do like a quick swatch or composition on my.
Okay, that was weird.
What's up?
You're having a great time today.
I know, right? It's like, yo, Facebook do not want us to live our best lives. Like Facebook. Like, hello? Like we trying to get our lives together. Anyway, we're back, okay? But we want to just wrap it up. We didn't want to leave you guys like that, so we're still back at it. It's the same situationship, you guys. Make sure you share it, love it, tag it. I'm your host, Danielle B, and we're back for the Q&A portion. Go ahead and share it on your end too, Corinne.
Yeah.
Again, if you can, because I shared it to people. Hopefully, we can wrap it up. Okay.
Hopefully.
Um, so as I was saying, I was talking about the fact that pretty much the things that I listen to as far as podcasts go, what I'm really listening to right now, what's on my playlist, what's I'm really interested in. I'm listening to a guy. His name is Grombacher. Grombacher. I don't know, like the popcorn. Grombacher popcorn, whatever the hell you want to call him.
That's actually
Um,
Grumbacher.
Go ahead. Huh?
Grumbacher's a paint brand. I have watercolors from them.
Yeah, I know, but see, there's a guy on YouTube that I'm listening to right now. His name is Gromberger. If you really are interested, for those of you interested, I'll give you the name specifically. But I'm listening to. He is a dope ass. Not only is he an artist, but he specializes. Of course, you know it would be me, right? Specializes in restoring historical painting. He does restoration of like 16th century paintings. Okay, so I be on it. I like to just see what he does to restore the painting, how he lifts up the paneling. You can see the old stuff. He likes to uses special solvents to take up the varnish. I mean, it's basically literally just watching paint dry. Okay, but I'm with it all the way around the board.
It's really cool to watch.
Exactly. I'm also, again, I was talking about Minnie Smalls. She's also on the playlist. She's an African American YouTuber. She's a dope YouTuber, and she's one of the only African American YouTubers that I know that's on the top of her game, that's popping. That, I mean, she got like 500,000 subscribers. Um, I mean, wouldn't it be dope to have her on the podcast, you guys?
That's awesome. I love her.
Yes, exactly. So Minnie Small, she's actually based out of the UK. She's super dope. I love her. Who else is there? I mean, all the regulars, Happy D artists.
Her too.
Happy D art, yeah. Everybody looks at Happy D. She does a lot of surrealism paintings, so I really follow her. I love her. Of course, to the Art Sherpa, Art Sherpa is out there. Um, it's a lot of people that's really putting in that work. But unfortunately, it's not many African American YouTubers that I see that are out there putting out quality content, and especially on YouTube. So that was probably part of the reason why I became a YouTuber, because I felt like it was a gap in the YouTube universe that was not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about it?
No, I think you're right. There's definitely not a ton. I can only think of off the top of my head. I can only think of maybe two others. One is Tatiana Vote. Vote. I don't know how to say her last name. Um, but she does like a lot of. I want to say she does digital work, but I can't remember if it's like digital work or watercolor work. My brain is blanking right now. There's her, and then there's another woman who actually hasn't posted much lately. But Cryptic Ink.
Cryptic Ink.
Yeah. She is too, and I think she was actually in the Air Force for a while too, which is I think why I was like, that's awesome. She was in the Air Force and then became an artist. So
Right,
she
exactly.
doesn't post very often anymore because she actually went to art school, and so she was super busy for a long time. So
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that, because you just say she had a podcast also.
um, she did like sketch casts, so like different things on her YouTube. But I don't know if she had a podcast or not. I don't remember. I'm blanking completely.
But there's not a lot of women. Like, there's a whole I guess thing or opportunity for women on YouTube that are doing different creative things. Oh, also I watch my friend Andrina Rodriguez. She has Andrina Creations. I don't know if you know about her, but a couple of her videos went viral on, she does a lot of paper creations and stuff like that. A lot of decorations for parties and stuff like that. And she has a whole YouTube channel where she teaches you how to do her paper creations.
Okay.
So, um, I definitely, that's who I'm following right now. But anyway, those are some of the few people that I'm rocking with. Of course, Gary V, because I love him. He always keeps me abreast on what's going on social media. I mean, that man is a genius when it comes to social media strategy, politic and bullshit, and you know what I'm saying? So, and he does a lot of cursing, and he's from New York or New Jersey, so I'm definitely down with it all day long. You know, you know. So, so yeah. Okay. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to get to some of the questions that you guys had in the comments. So that, ooh, what happened? Something blow up?
I think something fell somewhere.
Oh, I thought it was something blew up.
Well, I
It's
think
like
it fell, but I don't know what fell. I don't see anything.
okay, so if you guys have questions and you want to type it in all caps, put it down in the description box. I mean, type it in, you guys, write question in all caps, and we will answer your questions in real time right now. I'm going over to the to some of you guys' questions that you had on the previous broadcast, and we're going to answer some of those. So remember, put everything in all caps, and we'll answer your questions now. Do you see anything on your end, Corinne? Any questions?
No,
Can,
but
go, stop, go. The natives are getting restless.
yeah, I understand. I did see one question.
Let me see. Let me see.
One real question.
And 11 others.
Question
You said one real question? uh,
Another question
oh,
from my dad that I'm not gonna answer because he's being goofy.
uh, okay, so we had one question on the last broadcast from Jesse Levisay, I think his name is Jesse Levisay. Question for the end. What is a brief explanation of your process for creating art from concept to canvas?
Okay. So it's a cheating question because that's my husband. But
Oh,
but to answer that question, in case anybody was curious, I actually have I have an iPad that I work from mostly. I used to sketch in my sketchbook, but my iPad just kind of helps me move through things a little faster. I think when I was working in sketchbooks, I'd get too hung up on tiny details too early. But basically, what I do is first once I have an idea, I'll go into my iPad and open up a blank page and then just sketch a whole bunch of thumbnails. And we talked about thumbnails earlier. Basically, they're just really tiny, really rough sketches of what I might like the painting to look like. And I'll usually do anywhere from 3 to, depending on if I'm working something from a commission, I might do like 8. um, and just to get an idea. So I might try different poses, different compositions, things like that. And once either I have settled on something that I like, if it's just a painting I'm doing for myself, or the client who's ordering something settles on something, from there, I'll take that one little tiny thumbnail and blow it up and then do a rough sketch over it. So I get things fleshed out now. I actually work on anatomy and make sure that the body parts are in all the right spaces and it doesn't look too wonky. Because trust me, my thumbnails look bad, y'all. Like I've
well, thumbnails, you guys, are not meant to be masterpieces. They're just meant to feel out the composition and to figure out what you want to do with your pan.
Exactly. I mean, I've had people show me their work before, and they're like, Oh my god, all I draw is a stick figure, and I'm like, trust me, my thumbnails don't look much better than a stick figure. Okay,
Exactly.
that's what I'm trying to do. But then after that, I start actually fleshing things out, and once I have my sketch completed on my iPad, I'll usually color it in real quick. You know, put the flat colors in there. I might put a reference of where my shadows are, where my highlights, and all that stuff. Um, and then when I'm happy with it, I'll take those lines from my sketch and print them out huge on pieces of paper that I can put directly onto a canvas. And then I'll put transfer paper underneath there and transfer my lines onto a canvas. And from there, I'll paint.
Well, that's beautiful. I mean, I'm not as organized and all together like that. You know what I'm saying?
There's a reason.
So,
No.
well, we know.
And without a plan, I won't finish anything.
Right, right, right. I understand because we was talking about that. I mean, if you could touch quickly on what we talked about, how do you deal with completing projects with your ADD and anxiety? Like, what are some of the tips and tricks you can tell people who deal with maybe depression, anxiety, or things like that?
Um, well, one of the things that I've had to learn to do, well, once I got on medication, because if I don't take my medication, everything goes out the window and I won't get anything done. But is I have to make a plan, and I have to stick to that plan. You know, with my work, like I said, I work in those stages because if I don't work in those stages, I want to work on 50 million other things, and I'll branch off to 50 million other things. So I have a plan and I stick to it. I never understood scheduling your days and scheduling your week and doing that kind of stuff, but I had to do a lot of research on how to do that with an ADD brain. You know,
Right,
planners don't really work for me, but I've had to figure out kind of a combination between a notebook that I have with me literally all the time. I take it with me everywhere. Um, a million notifications on my phone, and a to-do list that some people just put the things that they really need to get done. I got to go take this to the post office, or I have to do that. But on my to-do list that I check every day, I literally have to put things like brush your teeth, make sure you actually did put deodorant on, eat lunch, so I have to put all the teeny tiny small tasks that most people just have running in their brains and they can just do it automatically. I have to make sure that I did it, because an ADD brain has trouble holding all that stuff together. So I have to put it
right,
there. And I have to have something that shows me, hey, you did this. Hey, you didn't do this.
right,
So
exactly.
that's a real quick way to go about it. But I mean, it's way more in depth than that.
Well,
And
yeah, I mean, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, what I've learned is there's a lot of just social expectations of what you should be able to do as an adult.
Cool.
And I have to realize that me, with my brain the way it is, I have to give myself grace that I may not be able to do that. I may not be able to work that way. I can't get up and make sure I've run all the chores, got all the chores taken care of, and run this business and raise my son. I start to be overwhelmed. I drop all the balls everywhere, and it's just and it turns into depression because it's like I can't do everything. But I have to realize some women can do that. Some people can do that, but that doesn't mean that that's what my life has to look like. As long as me and my husband are happy with the way that we've made things work, then we're good. Doesn't matter if it's supposed to look like that as an adult.
Exactly, exactly. You know what? I mean, you're doing a wonderful job. If nobody told you, you're doing a wonderful job. You're a good artist and a good friend, and I'm sure you're a beautiful wife and mom. All we can do is take it one day at a time. It's hard work. It's hard work running a business, period, and being an entrepreneur and doing any of that stuff, period. So it's even more hard work if you add a little person in between
Oh yeah.
that requires all the crap, all the days, all the time, all the resources, you know, like mine just becoming restless and is off camera having a breakdown.
Oh, mine
So
having one. So.
yeah. So we're trying to like wrap it up, let's go. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, it's hard work if you're just trying to function, period. So you're doing an awesome job. Um and that's a good tip for people that struggle with being organized and that have ADD or ADHD or any of those issues, or just dealing with depression and stuff like that too. Being organized and having something to look forward to, even getting like, you know, the little, because I have the, whatever you call it, the dry erase board and all of that, and I just write whatever yeah, you know, write whatever I need to write out on there, like my schedule, who's coming next for the podcast, and blah blah blah. That way we all keep organized, because other than that, I'll just paint for 10 hours straight, and everybody, the plants, the people will be dead, you know?
And I think the biggest thing that I've learned is that even if I've got all those systems
Stop,
and
stop.
I miss it, I don't stop painting, or I miss an appointment, or things run over, things like that. Okay. It happens. We're all human, and we all got our stuff that we gotta deal with. Just give yourself grace.
Exactly. As you can see, the person is here.
Yeah.
Say hi, bub. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead now. Go. Yeah, so you know, it could be difficult to balance home, art life, your business, you know, plus still be able to, you know, maintain relationships outside of the home, like hanging out with friends, family members, maintaining your relationship with your spouse, you
Mm.
know, your husband, wife, whatever you have at home. Those things could be difficult. So, you know, you got to do that balancing act and figure out what's important. I know for me, some days I may say, okay, I'm gonna carve out a day just for family. I'm gonna resist the urge to go near the canvas.
You know what? Fridays, I don't work at all. I don't paint. I don't do anything, because it just has to be my son's home, and then it's the end of the week, so my husband comes home, and it's time for all of us to spend time with each other. And on Thursdays, I don't work at all. Like, I don't do anything until after he comes home from work and we've got things calmed down a little bit. Like this time right now, I might get a chance to work, but if I don't get anything done on Thursdays and Fridays, that's okay. My family's important. And
Exactly, exactly.
some people are like, I gotta hustle, but they're my art business is important. My family is very important. So
Right, right.
yeah.
Exactly. And that's something you know, you have to choose what is important in your life and do what is best for you guys. You know what I mean? Based off of whatever. Oh, let's get a quick look at your art in the back, and then we're gonna get your family has really been in the comments rooting for you. putting
No,
some
it's
putting
great.
some funny ass comments down in there. Hey family.
Something else.
Shout out to the Beverlys, okay? They really came through for you, girl, okay? They
They
was
all,
in the comments. Somebody like, why are you so beautiful?
that was my day.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Um, okay, so let me see if we have any other questions. Cheryl's like, are you live? Like, hello, yes, we're live. Okay. I was in the zone working. I totally spaced the live. Da, da, da. Okay, so do you have any questions on your end? Let me scroll up a little bit to see.
Don't
Hey guys, if you're just tuning in, we're finishing up. If you have any questions, no, we don't have any questions on this live. So anyway, this has been a wonderful interview.
not my grandbaby.
Where Yes, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. Hey, hi, hi.
Okay.
See, all the natives are restless. They like, come on, let's go, wrap it up, wrap it up. We ain't got time for you to be talking this much. Okay, we're wrapping it up, guys. We're wrapping it up. So, tell us where we can find you.
You can find me. So my art business is called wildskullflowerart.com. And or Wild Skullflower Art, and you can find me at wildskullflowerart.com or pretty much any social media Wild Skullflower Art.
Okay.
Instagram,
That's what's
Facebook.
up. Show
I'm
us
on
that.
Twitter.
You on Twitter? Well, I don't
I don't really
even be
post.
bothered with the Twitter.
I don't really
Okay.
post, but I'm there. So
And you guys know where you can find me. You can find your girl on the new podcast. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast, the Creative Girl of Color podcast. And you can hit me up on YouTube, the same name, Creative Girl of Color with Danielle B. Over here on Facebook, same name. Everything same name, Creative Girl of Color. And thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. I want to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Other than that, we'll answer any questions after that. And don't forget to subscribe, you guys. Thank you so much. And say bye, bye, Corinne. Say bye.
bye,
All right.
y'all.
Thanks, Corinne. Bye.
Thank
And we'll catch you guys on the next one.
you.